Hey there, and welcome to this course on Adelita, a beautiful tune. It's very famous in the classical guitar world. It's the apple of many a player's eye. It's a great piece, and I hope you enjoy this course on it. In this video, what we're going to do is take a broad overview, look at some of the just the big red flags, the basic roadmap of how the music goes, and also some of the things that may potentially cause problems, and then I'm going to suggest some things to put into your technical practice and into your practice so that you can hedge against those pitfalls and be really prepared for the challenges that you are bound to face in this piece. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So here we have a full score. I know it's kind of small on here, but we can just look at some basic points. First off, we are in 3/4 time, and that means that this is a waltz, and we're going to be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and the entire time we're playing. Just glancing through, our rhythms are mainly eighths and quarters and half notes, not a lot of 16th note, things like that. So it's mainly going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and the entire time. Now, as far as our big roadmap goes, I can just glance through and look at, oh, there's a repeat right there. There's also a fine right here, and so I'm probably going to be coming back to this top part and ending here because that's what fine means, is the end. And so we have this big A section here to begin with. This is our big A section. And it repeats, which means we have A to start this off with. Well, then what happens? We go to, here's another repeated section from here to here. This is going to be our big B section. And so we have BB because it also repeats. Well, then we have this deal right here, the DC al fine, which means come back up and play the A again. So our big roadmap is AA, BB, A. And this is not an uncommon form. This is a pretty common form. Now, what else do we got going on here? We also have, just to glance through, we're starting off with 1 sharp in the key signature, which is either G major or E minor, but just at this point we don't know that yet. And then we're coming down here to 4 sharps, E major or C sharp minor, and we don't know which that is yet either. Now, we can make an educated guess though, because we can just look at these bass lines and notice that we have a lot of EA and B, a lot of E, which means probably we're in E minor. Down here, again, E, which means probably we're in E major. Time will tell, but we can make an educated guess to that effect. The next thing to notice is just this glaring observation that we have a lot of high notes, right? We're using the entire fretboard, so we have notes way up here, and there's high notes throughout this thing. We can just look around and see that there are high notes. And so we're going to need to be familiar with the notes in the upper register. And so one of the things that you can do if you're not used to playing in this way, you can prepare, and just by making it a daily practice of just going up the strings and naming your notes, so that you can say E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and just finding your natural notes so that it's just quicker, and just knowing where these are. And just do it on each string. And really you just need the top 3 or 4 strings, top sounding 3 or 4 strings, strings 1 through 4, 1 through 3, 4. And just really focusing in on those, then you can have those. Now, there's also actually identifying it on the page, but then what you can also do then is just name the notes on the staff. So you could make an extra copy of this if you'd like to and go through and actually write note names above it. I don't suggest working this way as far as like the piece that you're learning it from, but as an exercise in recognizing higher notes, then it's valid. You can use it as a practice of naming this. So if you're not used to playing up here, then take it as an opportunity to get more comfortable with some basic notes, especially on the high E string, because we'll be using it a lot. So really know your notes on the E string, the note names. Next we have these ornaments. There's a little ornament. Here's another little ornament. There's another ornament. So these are little trills, they're ornaments is what they are. And so they just give a little bit of psychological character to the phrase, to the melody. And I'm going to tell you what they are. It's a basic 2, 3, 2. So we do a hammer on, then a pull off. Hammer on, then a pull off, all in one stroke. And so one of the things that you can do in your practice is to make sure that you're practicing slurs, hammer-ons and pull-offs, or triplet slurs where you're actually going through. So either going through and doing your hammer-ons like crazy with all of your different finger pairs, 1, 2, 2, 3. Mainly what you need for this piece is 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. Those are going to be the ones, especially 3 and 4, because it just gets the least amount of work, and so you want to be really good at that one. But you want your 2 and 3 as well. And so you can do that. You can also do pull-offs and just put it into your daily practice. And also with the 3 and 4. Hammer-ons, pull-offs, and also the triplets where you have... Just do them this way to where you're doing the hammer-on first. 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3. So you can go through this way or do them as triplets. 1, 2, 3, or 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. And these are triplet slurs. And you can do that. Whatever kind of slurs you put into your technical practice, I would definitely put some sort of slur exercises into your daily practice and really beef up your hands. Know that you will need some serious hand strength for this piece, and slurs are, I think, like the best way to get them. So definitely add that back in. I'm not joking. We have a fermata down here, which we will talk about, this little bird's eye character, and so we'll definitely get into that. And as far as the broad strokes, I think we've got it. So in the next video, we will dive into the very first practice section and get going in earnest on the piece. See you there.